Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 8, episode 21, titled Markstrom or Allen, ? Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios inside the bunker in an undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. To the highest point and cross-continent, to the Michael J. Fox Studios in Beverly Hills, California. We got Short Sky and Scotty, a Sirius XM liquid metal.
Kind of get yourself in a little tizzy there, didn't you, Sam? Woo?
Well, it's Beer Baron's late again. Beer Baron's late again.
Well, we all know that.
Yeah. He's claiming that his computer's not working.
And crew.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's and crew.
And crew.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Windows update. Surprise, surprise.
Sam, Scotty, Short Sky, and crew. Thank you, Max.
And crew. Well, hello, everybody. How we doing? I got to pull up the old YouTube chat. Hello to everyone on Instagram and YouTube and X and Facebook and everywhere else. Yeah, we got a little bit of a goaltending conundrum for a little bit here. I know Sam Wu and myself were discussing this on Devils After Dark yesterday. What do you do? What do you do when someone has had a Vezina caliber season, they get a little injured and trying to make their way back during a peak playoff push month here, when your team has squandered their nice cushion and now every single game matters, and what do we got, about 7 minutes and 46 seconds left here, hoping that the old oil can hangs on to beat the Rags in MSG right now. They were up 2-1 in the third period. If you don't know, the Rangers jumped the Blue Jackets and are right now only 4 points behind the Devils.
Yes, they are.
Everything is critical right now, which leads to the point that Sam Wu was talking about. Jacob Markstrom recovering, not at the top of his game, just at the moment. Not saying that it's not going to return, but at the moment. Or Jake the Snake Allen, who has been very impressive since Markstrom got hurt. And it's a good thing we have a goaltender here, one Shorts guy, to make all the decisions for us. Thank you, Shorts guy. With your experience between the pipes, we're gonna lean on you, let you go and rant away. I'm gonna drink this beer over here and have a good time.
You're more than welcome to drink that beer. It's hard to come back from an injury. And it's almost impossible to come back from an injury and kind of play immediately like you were before you went out on an injury. It's one of those things when you go out injured, you're kind of constantly in fear for a little bit of re-injuring it, and you almost play. You can tend to play a little bit off your game because you're more focused on making sure you don't get injured. Now they have sports psychologists, so I'm assuming that he's gotten a little bit of guidance with that as well. But it's definitely one of those things where it seems to be he's not the same coming back from that injury that he was going into it. The most telling thing that I've seen is getting to watch him in person against the Jets, and his body language was showing a lot. And he was definitely.
What was it showing?
Dejected.
What? Okay. All right.
Dejection.
So dejection. Okay.
Yeah, dejection. One of the biggest things I saw was during one of those ice scraping timeouts, one of the media timeouts. He didn't even go to the bench. I think that was right around when the Nemec train was sinking that game against the Jets. And when you have a team that's playing suspect defense and you're a little bit off about your game, it's just one problem leads to another. So Jake Allen seems to be, the goalie of that kind of has it all right now. And maybe we have to lean on him until Markstrom gets his game back, because we all know what Markstrom can do. Maybe Markstrom just needs a little bit more time, but these games are critical.
Yeah.
And it's something that we have to start winning. Like, as long as the Oilers hold on against the Rangers, that'll be a big help. Tomorrow's game is a big, big game too. So
5 minutes to go.
It's one of those things where you really wish we were further up so you could let Markstrom play and, kind of play through this, because that's really the best thing to do is you got to play through it. You have to get into that game, and you have to get to the point where you forgot you were even injured, and you have to get back into that groove that you were in, which sometimes is a little bit harder than it seems. So, here's hoping that happens sooner rather than later. And I feel like it's even more of a pressure situation because he has to get better right now because we have to have him. Maybe he's putting that much pressure internally on himself that he's saying, well, listen, I'm the starter. I came here. I was the big signing. I have to play better. And then sometimes, like, you let in one or two, and then it compounds. It's half the position is a mental game. Goalies are weird. That's the line from Shorzy, and it's so true because there's so much to the position that's mental. You watch any goalie, and no two goalies are alike. I was watching the goalie last night up in Connecticut, for Sacred Heart, and Brooke, Amanda, and I were talking about how he is very methodical with his motions. Like, you watch him like go out, even like when they announce the warm-ups, like he's just kind of like, yeah, I'll get there when I get there, and then he goes on to make a ton of saves, and Sacred Heart winds up losing. He lets in one, and they wind up losing, getting shut out. So it's like, that one goal, negates all 33 saves he made after that. It's such an odd position, but I have a feeling it's a lot of it with Markstrom is probably pressure on top of pressure, and he's just kind of relax and just kind of play the game. That would be his best bet, is just kind of play the game.
And stop the press. Brooke Amanda, speaking of, has thrown her hat into the Jake the Snake Allen ring over here. The first time ever this season, which is, she was the one calling for Sam Wu to get the Jake the Snake jersey, and we all know what happens once Sam Wu buys a jersey for a player. They're out of here. They're on the trade bait, and they're gone. So
but I refused. You refused.
She even offered to buy it for you, I believe.
You had it in the queue, and you said, no, it's going to stay there. It's not actually going to be purchased. And I think it was a very smart move by Sam Wu's part. And now I see Brooke coming around as well. But yeah, these games are just massive.
They're important.
And, I guess maybe Markstrom. I mean, it doesn't help when Shimon Nemitz is playing like Billy Dean on defense over there, and
well, that's the other half of it too. It's when you can't. That's the other half of it too. Is when you can't.
I had to get that in there.
When you can't count on your defense, you feel like you've got to do even more as the goaltender.
You feel like you're playing with Billy Dean. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Markstrom is not playing like Billy Dean, as big as Billy Dean in that.
That's gonna be the new chant, like stop playing like Dean out there, like whenever the defense starts to falter.
Well, guys, let me tell you, you got to credit Tom Fitzgerald here. There's a reason why you have a 1A and a 1B, which he created for these situations. So credit him because you have a 1B to go to. If this was like Vitek Vanacek trying to find his game and Mackenzie Blackwood is MIA, who do you turn to? There's no – well, you could do the Akira Schmid model where you turn to Nico Dawes, but you don't want to go there. Right now, Jake Allen is playing very well as a starter, and it's time to sit Jacob Markstrom. So for the time being, till Markstrom finds his game, you're gonna have to put Markstrom in there.
Sorry.
Empty net.
Connor McDavid just put the oil can up 3-1. With about 325. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woo! Just what we needed. That was nice.
Now we got to do our business tomorrow. We have to do our business tomorrow.
Yes.
The oh man, see, I wish this was like a live table because I would like to know if the Rangers have 67 games after tonight or if this will be their 68th. Because that's going to play into a lot of this as well. Because Columbus has 66 games played, so those things are going to start coming into play eventually as well. But thank
I think
goodness
they're
the
at
Oilers.
67. I'm not sure. Well, we'll find
It
out
says
in about 3
Yeah.
minutes and 20 seconds here, So if it goes up to 68 or not. But the Rangers played yesterday, I believe, too. So they had a couple games like smack dab in a row here
And
to kind of catch up.
destroyed. They shut out.
Yeah, they did.
They played them pretty handily. I caught that after the Sacred Heart game. I caught the end of that game.
If Billy Dean was listening into this podcast, he'd be like, "Oh, we're rent free in your head."
Yes, the old rent free in your head.
You're playing like Dean. Clear the puck.
By the way, there was a little kid in a Matt Rempe jersey last night, and
Oh boy.
and the jersey fit this little kid's personality to a T. He was just as annoying as a little kid wearing a Matt Rempe jersey would be, and more. It was like, oh.
So, Shorts
like,
guy,
just
what did you do
go
about
away.
it?
That's Billy Dean's favorite player, by the way.
I know it's Billy Dean's favorite player. Unfortunately, Sam, I didn't do anything about it because I just wanted to watch my old college win, and they couldn't. But good news, the kids were gone after the first period.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's good. I hope that I was hoping you would use those tactics that I used in Vegas. But
No, I was quiet last night. I was quiet. I was more nervous than anything because Sacred Heart was already down 1-0.
We have new tactics
needed to
now.
win.
You remember, Sam? Come on, we're gonna counter the Girl Scout cookies with the Mrs. Fields cookies. We're gonna have a cookie war the next time we go to Las Vegas. So,
by the way, my costume came in.
Nice.
That's just one part.
Don't give it away. Don't give
I'm
it away.
not giving it away. I already
Or else
announced that.
there'll be some other podcast out there trying to do what we're gonna do, like 15 minutes before you get there. So, shh.
All right.
Secrets. There are surprises coming. If you're going to the game next Saturday against the Ottawa Senators, you are going to be in for a treat. You will have a chance to witness something that will go viral. We're guaranteeing that this is going to go viral, and you could be there, and you could film it, and maybe your video will be the one that goes crazy on the internet. That's what we got planned. For next Saturday's home game at the Rock, Devils and Senators is going to be a massive, massive game. But I'm telling you, there's going to be a viral. You could be there to witness a viral moment before it goes viral. All right?
Hashtag dumb.
Yes. I was on the phone call discussing this yesterday. And I hung up after the phone call and I was just like, I feel dumber having had that.
You know what? My IQ got lowered by 15 points. It's a 10-minute phone call. I'll never get back.
But trust me,
we had a lot of
everyone
laughs
out there listening. You're gonna love it.
It wasn't our idea. It wasn't our idea.
Whose was it?
Well, hold on. It depends. If it goes viral, maybe it will be our idea.
Yeah, but you don't want to be like the New Jersey Devils marketing team. Steal from others and not give credit.
It's true.
Well, you can give credit on the post afterwards. This person, thought of this idea, and we just,
say that we did it.
Say that we did it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Penn State lost to Ohio State.
I went 0-6 this weekend. I went 0-6 with my sports teams this weekend. Talk about a crap.
Skinner just made a big save.
weekend.
Oh, look at him hanging his head in shame.
Look who
There he
decided to
is.
show up.
Oh, now he picks it up. He realizes he's on camera. Okay. Texting
Wearing a
away.
Whalers jersey.
It's a Gordie Howe jersey, so you could suck it right through the jeans, buddy. Listen,
Hey,
I've had nothing but
like I
problems
wear
with the
jeans.
It's
computer.
a Whalers. It is a Whalers jersey. Okay, he's just saying
Yeah.
it's a Whalers
Yes,
jersey.
Oh
it's
my
the
gosh.
whale. It's the whale. Give me a break. It's the whale. All right, it's green.
Calm
it's right
down
next
there,
to-
Brody.
I'm heated. I'm coming in hot. Crying out loud! Stupid computer.
The
stupid
whale.
updates,
This
stupid
only
thing.
happens once in a generation.
Exactly. Once in a
It's a
generation.
final. It's a final. The Rangers have lost.
Yes, they have.
At least
Mhm.
we have that.
Skinner had a
At least we have
nice
that.
big save there at the end too.
Good. Couldn't happen to a better team.
Tom, you can shove it too. Shove it. Just shove it. Just cram it
Man.
right up there with all the walnuts.
Man, Dan Crew comes
yeah.
in fired up.
Dude, I tell
Love
you, I'm fired up. I got we were hanging out. We were hanging out with some friends. We went to go. I actually saw a minor league hockey player, a hockey game today. We went to go see the Phantom play the Wilkes-Barre Penguins. So I got to see one Chase Stillman up close and personal. And I'll tell you this, boys.
Brawls?
Here's my scouting
Were there
report.
fights?
Here's my scouting report. We didn't miss much on Stillman. Trading him away. No,
Cody
it was,
Glass.
It was cool. And Cody Glass, dude. Yeah, and everybody that said like they hated that trade, you can kiss that Cody Glass because I'll tell you what, that trade has so far looked pretty good. I know it's early and things can change, but it's looked pretty good. And I was saying to you guys in the text message,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was saying to you guys the other
He's
day, I was
replacing
like,
Caesar
it would be
Milan.
awesome.
Whisperer. Every
It would
game,
be cool.
he's on the ice for a goal. He's the goal whisperer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'd be kind
I'll
of
take
cool
it.
if he scores at home, if they play the Austin 316 glass breaking. and then
I
go
gave you
right
credit
into,
for that
So-
yesterday on Devils
Yeah.
After Dark afterwards. I said that would be a great
Thank you,
idea
thank
to
you,
hear
thank
the
you.
glass shatter. And
There
I
was-
did
And then do
credit
the
one beer baron with that
Cody-
with that idea.
yeah, and because Cody 316 said so right after that or something like that. You could do like the little animations they do of him like smashing sodas because they don't want to promote beer.
Powerade. Gatos.
Powerade.
Gatos and,
No, it's
Gatos
not. No, it's not
Chills.
Gatos. Gatos and chill.
There was a great promo years
He's
ago.
got the squirt
for the-
bottle all over his face.
There was a great promo up here for the Sussex County for the New Jersey Cardinals. Every time a foul ball was hit behind the stadium and it hit the roof because it had like a corrugated roof. It had a corrugated steel roof or whatever, or corrugated aluminum, whatever the hell it is. It would make this big loud sound, and then they would do breaking glass, and it was an ad for Sussex County Glass, and it gave the phone number. That was the ad. Foul ball hits, breaking glass, Sussex County Glass. And I
love
forget
that.
the phone,
I love
like
that.
I forget what the phone
Genius.
number was, but it was perfect. Like,
555.
that would be great.
Yeah. Marketing genius, like those things, those little moments. That's when you look
Mhm.
at the other guy who helped you come up with that idea. You pat him on the back and you be like, "Dave, let's go get a beer."
That was
That's
great.
a good one. That's a great one. But yeah, dude, it was actually really interesting. I've never seen a game out in I love that arena there. I've seen a concert there, but I've never seen a game there. Out in Allentown.
A lot of fights?
This beautiful little. Not a lot of fights. So I was kind of disappointed.
Really?
A lot of super physical. And I came up. Dude, I was there with my kids, and we were there with a couple friends, and they were there with like their Pee Wee hockey team. The whole time, it reminded me of Arizona so much that I was having like PTSD
Oh, boy.
flashbacks where I was like, "Shoot the goddamn puck! Shoot the goddamn puck!" Like I was like, "Oh my god!" My tarp started coming off by itself. I'm like, "What's happening?" Oh my god! And then like halfway through, I started coming up with great chirps for these guys. I wanted to be like, "This is why you'll never make it in the show. This is why me and you are the same." Like things like that. Like I kept thinking of all these great ways to like chirp these guys. Not a lot of fights. It was super physical, and it was actually a lot of fun. And the Phantoms lost, so all those mouth breathers went home very unhappy. So it made it even better.
Now, here's the big question: Did you accost some random person walking by you that had nothing to do with the game?
Yeah.
in Arizona.
You like hockey? Yeah.
Hey, you like hockey? Well, don't like
I just on your way to your mid.
That's right. We can't.
You on your way to the on your way to a midterm right now? I'll just berate you for a little while. No, I heard a rumor, and I wanted to bring this up, and I'm not going to reveal the source because who knows how valid it is. I don't know if it's 100% true, but I like to spread misinformation, just like any other reliable news source. So I heard a rumor that there's plans on building a hockey arena for a minor league affiliate in Bound Brook. So take that however you want to take that. Growing up in that area, I could see where they could
the baseball stadium.
Do that. Possibly, I don't know where exactly the plans are, but that's all kind of like what I heard. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be Utica because I think they have a long-standing contract with Utica. I probably might be the ECLH or oh my god, yeah, right.
ECHL.
ECHL. Thank you.
Adirondack. Adirondack's been up there forever.
Well, yeah, I know, but maybe
forever,
they are.
So I don't know if they would.
They had Trenton for a while too, so
it's a good idea to build in Bound Brook. The town in the valley right next to the river. So
that floods.
That floods every.
Yeah. That floods. It's so funny.
Using that noodle.
And you're like, one day it's a hockey rink, the next day it's an Olympic swimming pool where you can swim with some turds. You want to go in there and just deep sea dive with some brown trout, and we'll see how it goes.
Come here and see our brown ice from the Raritan River. Water's fresh from the Raritan River.
That'd be the name of the team, the Brown Ice Dogs.
The Brown Ice Dogs. The Poopsicles.
Aren't you glad I made it to the podcast on time?
Oh man.
This stupid technology, man. That's the word.
Well, it's probably cheap land, because it does flood so often.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got the land.
How
we got the land for nothing. I wonder why. Hey, look, it's raining. Wow.
We got that team charter plane from the same guys that got it from the movie Major League, where you see the guy duct taping the propeller. Bound Brook floods, but it doesn't flood
it floods.
like it used to. Now Manville floods even worse. Listen, Michael Rossi, I grew up in Greenbrook, and I'm well aware of flooding.
Middlesex,
firsthand. Yep. Middlesex up there, yeah. So we know
that
area
We're right next
very
to
well.
each other. What do you mean up there? We're right next. We're literally right next to each other.
I was pointing. I know. I pointed to you up there. Like I pointed to you like the Brady Bunch because your square was above me.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
There's lead.
I'm not up on the hill.
Hey,
that's an inside joke.
For anybody.
Thank you.
That's an
inside joke that no one will get. Yeah.
Just that's a moment between the side square and I. Side square on the other side. Do the Brady Bunch. I can do the Brady Bunch look over.
Yeah, right.
I know. Now I look up at shorts.
Yeah, now it's me.
Oh, Beachmasters, North Plainfield. All right, who else is from Central Jersey over here?
Yeah.
Frank's Chicken House. Oh,
Frank's Chicken House. What a memory. Hot 22 forever. Deuce until that place went downhill. You start bringing in we used to talk about we're going to go off on
as a former Cane Cougar. I spent some nights at the old Hot 22,
We used to call it the A squad, the B squad. You'd always have like the A squad. You knew you were there for a good night. And you're like, ooh, they got the A squad in. And then you go in and you'd be like, they clearly have the B squad in. And then after a while, it was like, I think they got the D squad in here because I think that one has a peg leg. So if you can read between the lines of what we're talking about.
Man. Texas Wiener in Greenbrook. Wait, wasn't it Texas?
Yeah.
No, Texas Wiener's in Middlesex,
No,
isn't it? Right on.
No, there's two of them. There's more than one.
Oh, the
Texas
one on
Wiener,
22. Right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Darty went. I'd call him Darty. That's a completely different human being. Tom went to Keene too.
It's
Molson
pronounced
Triple X.
Kane. Okay. Jeez.
Keene, Kane, whatever. Bro.
They're a university now. All right.
They are.
Yeah, get
They're
with it.
official. Get with the times, bro. By the way, this Gordie Howe jersey, I wore this because I didn't know, like, I didn't know what it was going to be like going into a minor league team's arena.
Torpedoes.
Like if people,
Man, we're just
torps.
naming all the old strip clubs that are.
remember after the flood that hit Torpedoes, and they cleaned that place with like kerosene, and it always smelled like kerosene after that. If anybody that's ever frequented that place, you know, like pre and post kerosene Torpedoes.
Our old
Anyways,
band played at the Boundbrook train station a couple times, and I believe one beer baron here jumped off of my bass drum and then went through. Was that you that went through the stage or was that Wowman that went through the stage?
No, that was Bill. That was not me.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was not me. Yeah. That
Good
was
times.
good times. Oh my God, some good times. Going back to the team and going back to the Devils real quick, which we should probably do because that's what this whole podcast is about. Going into like a rivals arena of an AHL affiliate, I didn't know like what to expect, so I was like, throw in the Gordie Howe. Still wearing my Devils hat. But I will say this, like the one thing that I loved about like the atmosphere or like watching an AHL game in person is like we're sitting there and I was explaining to my wife, I love that she asked me questions about hockey because it keeps her engaged. And she's just probably like placating me. She's probably just like, I already know.
She was trying to keep your tarp on. I think that's what she was doing right there, is distracting you from everything else.
Feel the energy. She can feel the energy building up in me. All right, hey, 37. She's like, so what does icing mean? I'm like, oh, babe, icing actually is fun to. Hey, 17. Yeah, you.
Tell me about the penalty box.
People in the NHL? Yeah. What is the penalty? Is it an actual box? Meanwhile, she's like, I know all this stuff. No, but it was interesting. So, like, there was a guy I was explaining like what a career AHLer is, and I was like, there's guys that are on this team that are like in their mid-30s that are never going to break it into the NHL, but they're playing professional hockey, so it's like all good. But I was like, it's crazy because you see some of these guys come in, and you're like, that dude's had a cup of coffee here. That guy's been over here. Like I recognized a bunch of names that I didn't realize I would recognize. And especially, it really made me, seeing Chase Stillman out there really made me think about prospects that never made it or like prospects that you had hope for. And I wanted to kind of bring this up tonight. Who is the one prospect that you had some of the highest hopes for that never made it on the team? I don't know why it's not the guy I would pick, but the first name that popped in my head for whatever reason was Joseph Blandisi, the blender,
the diver.
I don't know why his name, the diver, holy diver. He got fined for that too.
That he did. Oh, Wimpy with bazookas. Well, we used to band practice right across from bazookas all the time. Our old bassist.
There's a funny story.
There's a very funny story.
There's a very funny story. We won't get into it.
If you ever drove by bazookas, if you ever drove by bazookas in Bridgewater and saw something questionable on their sign out there, the bassist in our old band probably put those rearranged those letters into something adult. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Yes. Somebody might have gotten caught. And then somebody, me, had to pick up somebody else, you, from a certain place. All right, I see a couple names popping up. Matthias Tenby, Reed Boucher, John Quinville. That's a good one.
Reed Boucher. That's a good one.
But these are guys that actually broke into the NHL and had more than a cup of coffee in the NHL. Like Tenby was in there for a while. Boucher was in there for a little bit. Even Quinville had a decent shake.
Santini's a good one too. I
Yeah,
remember
Santini.
when we got it. They're like,
Everyone.
"Oh, it's the next Scott Stevens. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This kid is gonna
So
be
highly
it."
rated.
Yeah, reboot shit. Remember? Actually, well, I think he came in a trade. Bobby Butler.
Nemec.
Yeah, Nemec.
Bobby Butler.
Remember Bobby Butler? Hell of a shot, but all he could do was shoot it directly into the goalie's crest every single time. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God, there's
Jacob
what
Josephson.
the hell was
Well, he was more of a. I guess. He was a regular.
JJ was a regular, and he also I always called him JJ because I could never pronounce his last name ever. Joseph. Yep, there it goes.
Josephson.
Not gonna work here anymore. That dude would have been great if he could have stayed healthy. I think he had potential to be a decent like third line center if he could have stayed healthy.
Ariel
Carrick.
Hahn. That's another one too.
That's another one too. Jeez.
It's just it's crazy because wasn't Stillman one of those 3 first-round picks that we had that one year? Wasn't he the third?
Yeah. I thought he was.
That wasn't him. I thought he
Not
was.
that.
It was
Wait,
him.
no. I think he was a first round pick, but it wasn't. No, that year was the 3 was Mercer, Holtz, and Muhammad Doolin.
No, wasn't Holtz and Mercer were in completely different drafts. It was Muhammad Doolin, Mercer, and Stillman, I believe.
No,
I think he was the third one, and he was either the second one in that draft or the third one. No, the 3 were in 2020. Steven Angle, come on, help us out here, bud.
I
thought it was Holtzy, Mercer, and Muhammad Doolin. That draft.
Chase Stillman was. Chase
Holtz,
Stillman
Mercer,
was drafted.
Was 2020. All right, so you were right about that.
Yeah, 2021. He was drafted 29th overall in the first round.
Kerfoot. That's a good one.
It was
remember when we won
year.
Remember when we won the Kerfoot sweepstakes?
Mm-hmm.
Will Butcher,
and we lost those sweepstakes as well.
We did.
Will Butcher, Ty Smith.
Will Butcher, we didn't draft Will Butcher though. Butcher, like we got from the Colorado Avalanche when he wouldn't sign his his entry level contract. It's kind of how the Rangers ended up with Fox. Kerfoot did it to us.
To Colorado, and then we got
Kerfoot. No,
Kerfoot.
I think he did it after. No,
because he didn't want to sign.
He went after. Brian Gibbons. I remember Brian Gibbons. Gibbons was always I thought was always a decent guy that could crack the bottom 6 of this team.
He had a hell of a half season, and then after that, it was not so much. Yeah,
it's just so interesting to me. Like the draft, and this is what is I almost respect teams like Tampa Bay that are like, screw it, take a draft pick, take our number 1 draft pick. We don't care. We'll take XYZ for because sometimes you get guys that you're like, wow, look at a Jesper Bratt in the 6th round. What an absolute gem this dude is. And then you get guys where you're like, Simo Nemec, who looks like he's going to be the next like greatest, defenseman, who this year we'll give him, whatever, a little slack that maybe he's going through a sophomore slump. But Alexander Holtz. I mean, there's so many guys. Like we had so many. Pavel Zacha, dude. I was pumped when the Devils when they drafted Zacha. I was absolutely pumped because on paper they were like, this kid is a big physical scoring winger who's gonna, his offensive punch. He's got like a hell of a game. Blah 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 blah. And
who was the guy that changed his name like 3 times? And he was
isn't that the guy that murdered somebody?
No, like his coach did, like his like mentor coach, right? Was it like Mike Danton or something?
Yeah, Danton. Yeah, Danton.
Right?
Yeah.
And he ended up going to jail because he like murdered his coach because it was like a messed up.
Is that what it was? I don't even remember. But I remember when he had
I can Mike Jefferson, then Mike Danton.
That's what it was.
And there's actually a connection to Sheldon Keefe.
Oh. Go on. Do tell.
Mike Danton and Mike Jefferson, whatever you want to call him, was best friends with Sheldon Keefe. And Sheldon Keefe, with that whole murder, Sheldon Keefe actually had to testify in court, I believe, and I have to check my facts on it, saying that Mike Danton Jefferson, I believe, was molested by the coach. I think that he was trying to put a hit on. And
he didn't actually kill him. He put a hit on him. That's
put a hit on him, right? And that coach is the brother-in-law of Wes McCauley, which is why I've been bitching about that whole thing.
And that was he was the official a couple of games ago.
Yeah, gave $25,000, that fine when Jack Hughes, whatever, and then Sheldon Keefe chirped, and then that last game,
Max, that's a different Verana, I believe, than the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Remember, what was his name? Sheldon Brookbank.
Oh,
yeah. Jelena was a good one. Army Jelena, that's a good one.
Yep. Eric Jelena with that
Jelena,
shot.
yeah.
Sheldon Surrey.
Surrey. Who went?
Yeah.
And we let him go. Which, by the way, for those that are still keeping the track, Sheldon Surrey was also the Sam pranked me. I think it was trade deadline whenever Sheldon Surrey was on the Montreal Canadiens, and I texted Sam and I was like, "What are because he put on when he was writing for a different website, he wrote that there was a very strong chance that the Devils were going to make a run at him." And I go, "How true is that?" And he goes, "It's in the bag." And I basically told everybody. I was at a party. I told everybody at the party we're getting Sheldon Surrey. I got an inside source. Meanwhile, my inside source was Sam, so I knew I shouldn't have trusted him. But.
Ooh, here's a good one. Thanks, Selecta. Seth Helgeson. Remember him?
Wow.
Oh, and he was a big Swedish kid too.
Yeah,
big kid,
big Swedish kid.
A mean,
that's a
had
good
a
one.
mean streak in him. I remember Helgeson when he made it into the NHL for a little while. He had one of those ridiculous 4-minute shifts because he couldn't get off the ice.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Devils were pinned in their zone, and he was stuck, and he could not get off the ice, and he was stuck out there for a solid 4 minutes or something like that.
You know who I thought was going to be a stalwart on the blue line for years and years, and he had an NHL career, but he never really kind of got past
David
that
Hale.
bottom pairing. Mark Frazier.
Yeah,
remember Frazier?
Yeah, Mark Frazier was a tough as nails too. That kid.
He
Brendan
did. He
Morrison.
came back to the Devils. Yeah, at near the end of his career, he actually made his way back. I think he went up to Toronto. He played at a couple different locations.
He was in Toronto for a while. I think he was an LA King for a little bit too.
The Reverend Ben Lovejoy. Oh man, I don't know if he qualifies as a prospect.
Well, people
David Hale. That's
Peter
a good
Harold.
One. Peter
Harold.
Hey,
this is a good question because Judas was saying, I will never understand why people wanted to keep Igor. Dude is not good. I'll rephrase what he said. One good season and he falls off the next year. Had lots of chances in 22 and failed. What is Igor Sharangovich up to point wise this year? Because that's a great point. I was thinking about that dude the other day too.
I'll look it up.
Blake Coleman, by the way, there's one on the top of my list that I wish we would have never parted ways with. I loved Blake Coleman.
I'm gonna
John
just give
Moore.
a blanket. I'm gonna give a blanket statement. Any of our goaltending prospects in the last couple of years have just been an absolute disappointment.
Okay, who did you have the most hope for?
Blackwood.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
had a lot of hope for Blackwood, and it was just a disappointment. And he's doing well now, and good for him. But it was just there was a time I remember when we were talking about Blackwood and Carter Hart being the big rivalry in the Metro.
Oh yeah.
As far as goaltending, and then Blackwood didn't pan out, and Carter Hart turned into a dirtbag. Well, it was revealed he was a dirtbag. He, just turned into one. But yeah, that any of those goaltending, any of the goaltending stuff. I guess maybe you can even throw Keith Kincaid in there too, because at one point Keith Kincaid looked like it, and then he was just
30?
not.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sharon Govich
Jesper
is on pace.
Boquist?
Thank you. RME, thank you. It's 30 points in 74 games on pace for Sharon Govich.
On pace
So
for he's got 12 goals and 11 assists.
Last year he had a breakout season. This year he broke back in, I guess. He broke out, and then he was like, I don't know. It's too scary out
it's
here.
too cold outside.
Yeah. Let me back in.
59 points. Yeah, it's like when you let the cat out in the winter. Cat puts two paws outside. It's like, nope, I'm staying in the house.
Because of
I got one that wasn't
technical
really
difficulties. Okay, good.
What's that? I was going to say I got one that's not really a prospect, but I think everybody had very, very high hopes for him, and it crashed and burned immensely, and that would be the Goose, Nikita Gusev.
Oh, yeah. I remember that was like, we got PK, we got Gusev. Everybody was like talking like the Rangers at the same time got Panarin and Fox, and we were like, yeah, we outdid you guys. I'm like, what were we? Well, we were really high on ourselves at that point, or just really high. Is that none of it? Miles Wood, I appreciated Miles Wood, but Miles Wood was also a super frustrating dude to watch because you saw the flashes of Miles Wood, you saw the speed of Miles Wood. When Miles Wood was fighting, I was like, "Oh, it's David Clarkson 2.0 with better speed."
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he just never like became what he could have become. Oh my God, what the hell was that? Oh, I don't know if you guys talked about it at the beginning of the show. There's one person that was a devil for a little while who left prematurely or abruptly, who I guess we could add to this. Now we're away from prospects and like going into like different types of players. One person who just recently retired from the NHL or from hockey altogether, whose jersey still hangs in my closet, who still scarred my heart along with every other Devils fan, is one Ilya Kovalchuk. When he was here, and it's undeniable how electric he was when he was here. And that 2012 season was one of the most fun seasons we've had in a very long time. And there's a lot of fans that are out there now that their only taste of a Stanley Cup, even finals, is that 2012 season. Yeah, we've seen the Devils win 3 cups, go to 5, and that 5th one was like one of the most insane journeys ever, and probably one of the most exhilarating Eastern Conference Finals I've ever been to in person. One of the best games I've ever been to in person, like bar none. And Kovalchuk was such a huge part of that team. I mean, I just need to reminisce about this for 1 second. I'll never forget. I was at a Devils Rangers game. My cousin and I are sitting next to each other, and I heard a rumor, not from Sam Wu because he's unreliable. I heard a rumor that the Devils were in talks of trying to get Ilya Kovalchuk, and my cousin and I are sitting next to each other, and I look at him like, dude, there is a chance that the Devils are going to get Kovalchuk, and if they get him with Parise and Langenbrunner and Elias, and this team is going to be absolutely insane. And these 2 douchebag Ranger fans behind us were like, the Devils are never getting Ilya Kovalchuk. And I turn around, I'm like, the one dude was like saying something about if they get him, they're like, oh, they're so dumb. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you want to talk about dumb moves? Let's talk about getting Gretzky. Let's talk about getting Yager. Let's talk about that. And I just like rattle off a ton of whatever. So I put them in their place, and these 2 morons sit back down. And like a couple minutes later, the one guy, quote unquote, accidentally spilled a beer on my cousin. Then we got into a fight.
Yeah.
So it was a good old fashioned type of hockey game. It's obviously way pre having kids, but the moment that he came over, was one of those like, yeah, like Johnny Oduya was great to have, but holy cow, like when we got Kovalchuk, that was like when we got Taylor Hall and when we got Kovalchuk, both those times I was like, oh my god, like what the heck just happened? I can't believe this just really happened. First of all, I couldn't believe Lou Lamoriello like made a move to get a guy like Kovalchuk. To this day, I still don't understand how that happened, but yeah, that was great.
I got one more name for a prospect that I was personally disappointed didn't work out. And I'm going way back. When I was a senior at Sacred Heart, there was a goalie that came in by the name of Jason Smith that the Devils drafted. And I was so pumped. I was like, man, I'm playing with a Devils draft pick. This is great. And he got a couple games for the Trenton Devils, and that was it. I was bummed. I was so excited to be like, yeah, man, one of my teammates is going to be on the Devils. And then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Mark Fane. Remember Mark Fane?
Oof.
Oh, Mark Fane. Yeah. Mark Fane.
Larson, but he's got a career, so.
Larson's got
Mike
a good
Commodore.
career. Mike Commodore. I wish we would have kept on the Commodore. He ended up being a hell of a hockey player. Adam Henrique.
Yeah.
Adam Henrique. I remember the day he got traded for Sammy Vatanen. I was like, oh, why? I know we need defense, but why?
Sammy Vatanen.
Oh, my God. On the flip side of the Covey thing, by the way, I remember the day I was sitting I was working somewhere and I was working in a cubicle and my buddy texting me, Kovalchuk just retired. And I just wrote back in capital letters, no, he didn't. And he wrote back, no, he really did. And I said, and then I wrote back, this is not funny. And he goes, I'm not. He goes, I wish I was joking. Go on like whatever, Twitter or whatever. I found my news at that time. And I went on and I just remember dropping my phone and sitting there and just being like, this is not real. This is not actually happening.
I got one more for you. Alexander Urbom.
Ooh, the Urbom.
I remember Doc Emmerich being like, an Urbomium shot from the point. Because he had that big cannon shot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, John Merrill. That's a good one, Beachmaster. That's a good one.
John Merrill.
Oh, when we got Dougie Gilmore. Yeah, that was great, too.
That was a great trade.
Stefan Matteau.
Yeah.
That's one. Or Stefan Matteau Jr., I believe.
Yeah, the young Matteau. I was so like when the Devils drafted him, I was like, man, I hope he just knocks the Rangers out of the playoffs with a wraparound goal, because that would be such poetic justice to finally like. I was like, yes, let this happen. Let there be like a game 7 overtime, and Matteau goes out there, and we get rid of the whole Matteau thing. But I mean, I think Henrique did a pretty solid job of doing that for us.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Henrique, it's
Still,
over.
it would have been awesome.
Yeah, it is 10. You're right, Sam. It is 10.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
Wrapping it up. I'll go first. McGillney. Oh man, when we got McGillney, how that dude is still not in the Hall of Fame. Come on, 2 people that need to be in the Hall of Fame: Alexander McGillney and Patrick Elias. So I will go on by saying this. I was hoping that the Devils would have won 4 in a row. They got walked out of Pittsburgh, and it was an embarrassing type of loss. It just seemed like the team ran out of gas and then just got embarrassed. But hopefully that game kind of sparks them to go on another little run. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm still hopeful that this team is going to make a decent run when they get into the playoffs. They have a 96% chance of making the playoffs at this point. And I sure hope that they follow through on that. But at the very least, get into the show and show them what you got. So keep it going. Hopefully tomorrow they'll get it right back on the right track. So, damn computer. Sorry I was late.
Just as you were saying that.
Oh, good.
No, just as you were saying that, I thought about the the Simpsons plant softball episode where they're talking about
one of my
one
favorite.
injury. yeah, where they say no, there's no chance of 9 injuries. For some reason, just made me think of that. It's just
cool.
90 with a 96% chance of us making the playoffs. I'll just say, the Devils got to win tomorrow and win everything that we have in control of our own destiny here. Just win.
Just win,
Yeah.
baby.
I'll say 2 more. Can't believe we forgot to mention old Nicholas Bergfors and Matt Halischuk. So,
yeah.
There's 2 more for you right there. Old Vladimir Zharkov too. Oh, there's so many when you start looking through. But either way, yeah, tomorrow's massive.
Wait.
Columbus.
I'm sorry, Scotty. Real quick, I am so sorry to interrupt you because I don't remember the kid's name, but we drafted him a couple years ago. He was that Russian player who went on Instagram Live and burned his hockey bag to announce that he was like not going to be playing hockey anymore.
Oh,
What the hell was his name? Poparov. Or
Yeah, he
whatever
wanted to
his
be
name
an
is. Popov.
influencer.
Popov, like cheap vodka. Yeah, he wanted to be
In the plastic bottle.
Wonder how that's
in the
going
plastic
for him.
bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing great. Everybody loves him. All right, sorry, Scotty, go on.
I'm just gonna say Barry Talixon. Wow. Woo.
Wimpy going way back.
I'm just gonna say that for tomorrow, it's a massive game, and right now Columbus seems to be kind of reeling a little bit. Take full advantage of this, Devils. We know that the Blue Jackets are a better home team than they are on the road. They're probably, getting themselves pumped up to rebound from these last couple games. They're now behind the Rangers. The Rangers lost tonight, so they see opportunity. Their eyes are going to be wide open with opportunity to try and get within 2 points of the Rangers. You got to go in there. You got to be ready to play. And you got to do a 60-minute game. They have to play, not like they did against Pittsburgh, but, the previous efforts were there. So just lay it out there, boys. Every game is so crucial, but don't miss an opportunity because the schedule for the rest of the month, we went over it, Sam and I on Devils After Dark. It sucks. They only have 1 game against a non-playoff team or in contention team. They've got.
It's good though. Good thing.
That's
Columbus,
better for us. We do
they
better
got
against
Columbus,
those teams.
Calgary, and Ottawa this week. The only quote unquote easy game we have 1 game against the Blackhawks. Everyone else is a either into playoffs or right on the bubble of the playoffs. There's no easy games really here in this month of March. So don't get ahead of yourself, 1 game at a time, and go in there. And we've talked about the killer instinct. Try to have it and try to bury Columbus early and get them while they're down. That's what I'm saying.
Peter Harold comes to mind.
No, good one, Sam.
We said him before.
Yeah.
Shorts guy
We
said him
didn't.
bore. Come on.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
I didn't say him, but it was in the chat. We mentioned him before.
Oh, it was in the chat? Okay.
Oh,
Maybe that's
okay.
what it
Yeah, I
was.
think it was in the chat.
Oh, I was watching the chat. How about Ed Ward? Remember him?
Wasn't he a receiver for the Seahawks or something like that?
No, there was an actual player. His first name is
No, I
Ed
know,
and his
I know.
last name Ward. Remember that? Back in the late 90s?
Well, there's Ivan. There's a kid Ivan who plays now.
Oh, there was. I completely
Willie
forgot
Mitchell?
about this.
Brad
I
Bombardier.
completely.
Ooh,
Brad
Willie Mitchell.
Bombardier,
Brad
that's a good
Bombardier. Oof. Wow.
I
All right, you're
completely
redeemed now,
forgot
Sam.
There was a. Real quick, I completely forgot there was a player who played for Sacred Heart until I saw it last night. His name was Bear Trap.
Love that. I had a football coach. His name was Harry Bush. No joke. Dude was tough as nails. And it was like naming your kid Stu. I guess it's like the whole point, I guess. But yeah, his name was Harry Bush. Why he wouldn't go by Harrison, he fully owned it. He was like an old like army vet too. He could kill you with like a look. You know what I mean? One of those kinds of guys. Like he's 4'2", but had like Popeye forearms. Old Harry Bush. Probably R.I.P. because that dude was old when I was in high school.
What do you got, Sam?
Ride Allen all the way.
All right.
Ride
That's
Allen
really
all the way.
you.
Or at least till Markstrom finds his game. But
Yeah.
he's going to have to take majority. He's going to have to take majority of the starts, and
For now,
going to have to fit Markstrom. Scotty and I were talking last night. Maybe put him against Calgary, see how he does. But you got to play Allen on Monday and Allen on Saturday as well, and then go game by game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Andreas Salomonson says Wimpy.
Wow. Nick Lappin, wow.
Remember Adrian Foster, first round pick that amounted to nothing?
There's a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an Andre Zuzin or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I would love to just go back and look at like every sport and just see like first round picks and just see what the percentages they are, like length of career, success in career, or whatever. You know what I mean?
How about
just
this?
See what league has the best percentage.
How about this? Devils draft Pavel Zacha, but they could have gotten Timo Meyer or Mikko Rantanen just a few picks later.
Oh yeah. Yep.
What a waste.
That's something we could always go back and talk about. That was like the pandemic conversations.
Yeah.
All right. We're out of here. Till next time, let's go Devils.